Well, hello everyone, and if it's my ugly mug on your TV set, you know it's sweet and sour time again. My name's Gary Mitchell, and I'm your host for the next half hour as our League of Nations panel, and you'll see what I mean a little later on, deliberates and has a little bit of fun with some of the letters that they've sent in to us. Let's introduce the panel now, headlined by a chap who's become in our media circles the financial guru. Or yogi, because he's smarter than the average bear. He's also President of the Ethnic Communities Council. Suresh Rajan, welcome to the program.
Gary, good to be here. I think the term media slut has been used many times to describe me, but I shan't use that.
And I thought Lena had a monopoly on it. Next up, we've got a young lady. We've got Heinz sighing already over there. We've got a young lady, and I'm not referring to Heinz, who is a media guru. Her name is Louise Evers. Welcome to the program, Louise.
Thank you, Gary. I'm here, I think, to bring down the average age of the group on the panel today.
Oh, thank you.
Wow.
Me and you together, huh? And next, a young man who's one of our own team here at Sweet and Sour. He's the producer of an up-and-coming program on female cricketers called Cricket Hers. He is, as I said, our very own Heinz. Welcome.
Thank you very much. I'm so excited to be on this panel finally. I've been always the other side of the sea. Now I'm here. I made it. Isn't that beautiful? Now,
sounded like big.
on a more serious note, we're going to have an exciting cricket show coming up, and that will be in October, and there'll be young talent on it, and especially young development. And I'm really looking forward to it, because that's the future. Thank you, Gary.
Thank you, Heinz. They say there's 57 varieties. I didn't even understand the first. And, of course, last but not least, a lady who's probably the only non-Australian citizen on this entire panel, and that is Lena Adel. Welcome, Lightning.
I thought that was just about the show finished. Hello, son.
Yes, Mum, all right. Yes, all right, we'll talk about that a little later on. We've got some feedback on that too, I think. Now, just before the program, we asked each of our panellists to complete the Sweet and Sour morality quiz, and with the answers that they provided, we then graded them on a scale, from 1 to 10. 10 being the highest, and closer to Mother Teresa's status. And with those scores, you at home can judge where the panellists sit in relation to their comments and the morality score. Okay, let's go up the panel. Heinz, yours first.
My morals are very high, but I get every chance to break them. Number 5. Thank you very much.
Louise.
All right, I'm a 3 today, Gary.
Ooh.
And most days.
I like the way you put it. That's nice, yeah.
Very good.
Louise is
You
our
approve?
lowest rating
I
tonight.
approve with you.
Definitely.
Welcome to the Heinz Show. This is
I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry, Heinz. Keep it going, mate. This is good television. Lena.
Yes, I'm still 5.
You're still
Gary.
5. We'll have to have you do the test again fairly soon.
Thank you.
And Suresh.
I'm a 7, but I think I have to say this, that is more indicative of the fact that my wife is due to give birth any minute now, and I do want Louise's phone number after the show. Oh, yours too, yes, Lena.
The moral vanguard. And they're both media sluts, you reckon? All right, we're going on with our first letter. Dear Gary, Lena and panel. Pull, push, squeeze, rub, ooze. What's with girls that love to pick pimples? Yeah. I thought they were talking about sex to start with. And so violently. Every situation where I get intimate and cosy with a girl is quickly ended with, what the? And I feel as though I've been stabbed by a poison dart in the back, arm or elsewhere, as a decent blackhead, pops up. Has some girly magazine given the approval for all gals to attack their partner's body when they see a good-looking, squeezable zit? I wish they'd all stop. Oh, yuck. Okay, Suresh, when was the last time you put the squeeze on someone?
Oh, look, I mean, there's a wonderful scene that you can see in the Monty Python skit when he's talking about these wonderful people that are sitting there squeezing blackheads, not caring a tinker's cuss as to a struggling artiste. And I think it's time for this young man to move on. Find an older woman. Find someone who's not going to be squeezing blackheads, and get on to some real life. And I think an older woman is the ideal thing.
An older woman. An older woman or a bottle of Clearasil. All right, Louise.
Or a bullet.
or a bullet. Put him out of his misery. Louise, do girls like to pick zits?
Yeah, and now I think you've got to forget the fact that there's zits and that there's things coming out of it. They just can't be there. They're not welcome. It's unattractive. It's not a good look. So it's better out than in this case. I'm sorry, but you just can't walk around with blackheads.
Oh,
I reckon be thankful that she's taken the time to get rid of it for you.
Yeah. I mean, it's a bit of pampering, really, isn't it?
Oh, you could look at it that way. But I'd just say you just can't walk around looking like that, really. It's like having a third eye. Except you've got many eyes.
Third eye.
Can't.
Maybe four.
It's not attractive. They shouldn't be. They're foreign.
I mean, maybe he's just going out with monkeys.
Maybe.
Or something like that. Heinz, Lena tells me you are the expert in pus extraction. Is this true?
On the lower regions. No, not in the pimples area. That was a mistake, Lena. Anyhow, let's get back to the subject here. Lena, you always put me in these situations. I don't know, I get all embarrassed. Anyhow, if you are a young bloke and you got all these pimples, you know, I mean, that's a natural thing, and some even advertise Clearasil to get rid of them. Now, what I would say to the women got a natural thing to squeeze, you know, and like to, oh, it matter you'll be all right, love, you know. But when it comes to the sexual thing, if it gets to those regions where it matters and the pimple pops up, you stuff's on you. So, please get all the black stuff out of your lower regions. You can't go wrong. That's my opinion.
And for those of you who are having trouble understanding him, next time he's on, we'll have subtitles for you.
You should all learn English, then they can understand me. Easy.
Very easy.
Does that mean yes or no? He likes things or he doesn't?
I don't know, but I'm going to ask him where his black region is later during the break.
Let's not go down there.
Let's not go down there. All right, Lena, we're going down to you. What do you think?
Well, actually, I do think it comes back from many, many years ago. Like, if you see the monkeys at the zoo, it's a form of affection that they sit there and, you know, look for nits and bits and pieces and squeezing. No, it is. It's a form of affection. It is.
Would you like
that? No, I'm not one. I don't like squeezing other people's
You'd like me to pick your ass, do you?
pimples. But if I was going out with someone and say if he had a big blackhead on his nose, like Louise said, I would definitely get rid of rid of that. Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, I think most women do enjoy doing that.
All right. I'm excited.
Oh, yes, so am I.
I'm going to start eating junk food. That's what I've been doing wrong.
Because you've got nice smooth skin.
I'm totally speechless. It's under the beard there somewhere.
Okay.
We're going on with our next letter. Oh, God, pimples. Hope our next letter improves somewhat. This is from Mistake. Now, Mistake emailed us last week or the week before as well. Good on you. Thank you for the emails.
Got a lot of problems.
Keep sending them in, obviously.
You've got a problem.
That's it. She's got more than one.
All right.
She's a friend.
Oh, right, okay.
I have a friend who recently confided in me that she's in love with a man 10 years her junior. She's confided in you, and you've just gone and blabbed it on Perth-wide television. Great mate you are. They've been seeing each other for a few weeks, secretly, as there are people that just wouldn't understand. She said she knows it's wrong, but he makes her feel special, and it brings her happiness. Personally, I think the age difference is just too great, as he's still in his teens. Oh my God, and will eventually tear them apart. Can you offer her any advice? Yes, if he's 13, get rid of him, dear. He's far too young. Heinz?
He's 13.
No.
But I was just going to say, if he's underage, that's pedophilia, and I hate that now. Anybody who even attempts that is crazy. Now, for the second part, if it's just, say, 19 or something. Now, this guy is looking for a bit of adventure, you know, and obviously. I mean, if you fall in love with him, you're an idiot. He just uses it for a stepping stone to better things. He wants to learn, he wants to get a bit of technique up, you know. Like, we all like to learn. Women are very good teachers. That's all I have to say.
What's wonderful about an older woman?
Oh, my, they know all the tricks in the book.
Oh, well, you're Mr. 57 varieties. Give us two.
Well, I'm going the other way now, but when I was younger...
What do you mean the other way?
Well, I'm getting older, I'm using the younger chicks. That's what I'm trying to say.
Oh, all right.
Now, but when I was younger...
I thought there was a call to bring Adam back for him.
No, I managed a restaurant in Sydney, you see, and I had the owner who was about 15 years older than me, and she was hot for me, so I thought, oh, well, that's all right. So she she took me to bloody Woolworths and dressed me, you know, clothes and everything. And the guy said, excuse me,
Okay, Heinz.
would that fit your son properly, you know?
Thank you very much, Heinz.
Well, you asked me, mate.
I'm sorry, I think I did.
Next week,
Lena?
send an email in.
Sexual peaks. Tell me about them.
Before I answer this letter, I'd just like to remind Heinz that there's 5 people on the panel.
Yeah, I'm definitely...
That's okay, Heinz, that's fine.
Question only, please.
That's fine. I don't think the 10 years age difference matters if, say, it's, 42 and 52. I don't think that really matters. It depends. If it's, say, 65 and 75, I think that's a really big age difference. And definitely if this boy is, in his teens, that's an absolute no-no. So it depends where the 10 years lie.
Did you see the story that they're running of late, where a 46-year-old man is married to a 94-year-old lady, and they've been married for 10 years?
So I know some people who are the same age and they've been married for 5 years, got divorced. So,
Suresh, when do friends' opinions count and when do they not?
I think it's going to be a problem if he starts to bring home his shorts and asks her to iron it from the school. But I'm just trying to imagining them at her doing tuck shop duty whilst he's at school. No, this is one of those relationships that's not going to survive. So I think we tell mistake to tell her friend that time to move on to someone far more sophisticated.
Louise, do you agree?
Oh, I've got a pretty short time. I say if you're I'm assuming you're in your late 20s, early 30s. If you are, he's in his sexual peak, you're in your sexual peak, go for it, enjoy the sex. If not, get rid of it.
Get rid of it. Good advice.
Yeah, just go for the nookie.
We'll be back straight after this with some feedback, more letters, Heinz and the rest of the panel. See you soon, don't go away.
I'm the anchor now.
Welcome back to Sweet and Sour. Yes, we've been having a good time here in the break with Heinz.
Cheers, mate.
I need 2 disparins. Cheers, Heinz. Now, if you'd like to send us a letter or some feedback, it's www.sweetandsour.com.au. And whilst we're there, we'll read out some feedback.
And would they please send us in some more problems?
Please send us in some more problems. We know there are plenty out there. You should see some of them that we reject. Goodness me. All right, Dallas of Swanbourne says, what a gem Father Brian was, refreshing and fun. That's what he was. And Lena and I will have some news later down the track about helping out Father Brian in his crusades. Stay tuned. Another one, I couldn't believe the nerve of that letter that wanted to lock the kids away after 9 p.m. Surely if we lock them away at 6 p.m, we don't have to put up with home and away, neighbours and Big Brother. Very true. I saw your show with a 60-year-old prostitute. She must have no teeth. It's the only thing I can think of. Repulsed in Beaconsfield. When will you have an all-girl show again? That was your best. And that's from Rosalind Webb. Thank you, Rosalind. Charmaine and Gary make a better pairing than Lena and Gary. Lena and Phil, I can imagine. Not a pleasant thought, though. Are you sure Lena isn't the porno granny? Kevin and Cindy Boyd. Lena wasn't even on that program. All right, and just a special announcement. On the 26th of May in Lake Street, Northbridge, there is the very first Perth Glendy Festival. What's a Glendy, you ask? Well, a Glendy, it's Greek for party. And the East Perth Redevelopment Authority, together with the Greek community, are getting together to host a huge Greek party for everyone. That's in Lake Street on the Sunday, the 26th of May, 2002, as I said, in Lake Street, and it says they've got Greek food, plate smashing, personalities, music, a taverna, you can win trips to Greece, there are rides, Greek sweets, and so on, and so on, and so on. So it should be fun. We'll tell you some more about it next week. Lena?
Yes, you're going to do this letter now, Gary.
Lena doesn't have anything to say tonight, folks. Isn't that amazing?
That's unusual. Come on, Lena, say something.
Thank you, Heinz. We're going straight on with Anxious from Mount Lawley, who writes, I'm in love with my doctor. It began when I had a shocking bout of flu and he made an after-hours call to my home. He checked up on me every 2 days via telephone and visiting once a week for 3 weeks. During his visits, he chatted about general issues, and I came to see the very gentle side of this special human being. On the last visit he made to me one Friday night, I enticed him and we made love. Sound effects courtesy of Heinz. It was beautiful, yet afterwards he felt that he had betrayed his code of ethics, even though it was me who pushed myself on him. And he began to distance himself, although continuing his utterly professional concern for my health. After inviting him to dinner, he confessed to me to be confused about his sexuality and admitted to having had a gay relationship. How do I win this fantastic man over to my bed? Tell him you're a bloke. Lena, have you ever been flirty with your doctors, or do you just confine it to the Meals on Wheels people?
I don't know how I managed to put up with this panel. I wasn't really concentrating. I'm just too worried about Heinz up the other end.
Darling, I love you. You know that.
Whenever I go into hospital, Gary, as I get wheeled into the theatre, honestly, I do fall in love with my doctor. No, honestly, I can remember Tony McCartney when I had a hysterectomy.
And hello to Tony, a hysterectomy.
I know.
You very well.
And he held my hand as I went to theatre, and I said, "Oh, Tony, if I die tonight, tell my children that I am so happy and I love you so much." But it's the pethidine.
Is it?
Yes.
And did he
No,
come as well?
the pethidine that you have before you go to theatre.
I know, but she's got the flu.
Oh. No, that's the only time I've been in love with my doctor. All right.
And is that it? What do you say to this woman?
Look, just get real. You know, she's
get real?
living in fantasy world.
Forget him.
Absolutely. Let him get on with this job and heal people.
All right. Suresh, you're a man of high professional ethics. Has the doctor crossed the line?
Look, I'd be saying to Anxious right now that I'd be concerned if the doctor was a vet. But aside from that, I don't think she's got a problem. As to whether she's ever going to get him across from the other side, I suspect that it's a lost cause and it might be time to move on to something far more professional.
God, if I ever put the hard word on my doctor, he'd punch me. And I think I'd be glad he'd punch me. Louise, what do you reckon?
Well, you know, I mean, yeah. Look, I mean, you ask a stupid question, you get a stupid answer. But the answer's there. He's gay. He's gay. He's gay. I mean, how many people do you want to tell you he's gay?
Well, maybe it's just that he really doesn't want her.
No, he got his rocks off. He's a doctor. He's done all the right things as a doctor. He's done nothing wrong on the sexual side of things, except you got to know him as a person, and he's gay. And he's confused. Why would you want to be with him?
Having
Has he
gay
crossed-
relationship.
No, he hasn't crossed the line at all.
He hasn't?
No, don't, no.
Okay.
Yeah, he's made love to her.
So?
He's bonked her.
In a professional capacity?
He has not. He's done his job as a doctor.
He bonked her.
She went out of her way to put him in bed, and that's what he did, and now you're whinging.
In
It's
case
just
of-
sex. It was a one-off. You don't need...
What that mean?
He
Made
bonked.
love. You didn't make
Bonked.
love. You had sex, and that's all it is.
All right, good for you. In case of
That's a
pain, take two doctors to go to bed. Heinz?
Generation.
Yeah, well, I have to comment, but first of all, I'd like to show you the bloody phone book I'm sitting on, because it makes a square mark on my bum, and we would like to have a few cushions. If anybody out there in television land has a heart, please make our bums round again. Anyway.
Next week we're sitting on Heinz, folks.
well, that could be a possibility. I got plenty of room, Gary.
I can see, mate.
You sure want me to comment or not?
Oh, well, only if you want to, you know.
Well, just to put it in a nutshell, I mean, you got Barclays to get a relationship with this bugger, you know? I mean, he held his bum up for having a bit of fun, so he can't be a normal human being anymore, you know? So I think just leave him out of your equation. That's all I have to say.
We should have Heinz on as a regular. I'm amazed. The panel is just
Well, have you asked
completely
me? I
cracking up
told you.
here. The funny thing is that nobody can understand a word.
Please send in for translations. We'll be very happy.
So did you give her advice? I didn't hear it.
I tell you to bug off.
Oh.
Forget her.
That's what happened to him in the first place.
What are you talking about the phone book?
Oh, no, that was before.
Okay.
Maybe we should just keep the
No, it's no
on
future in
Heinz.
it, love. Forget it. No future in it.
Heinz says there's no future in it. You can
He's
rely
a
on
good
him.
doctor. He would not incriminate himself in the ethics department anyway.
Okay.
He wouldn't reverse it to him.
Okay.
You know?
All right.
It's just a floozy fling flang.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. You finished? You happy?
I'm
All said, all
ecstatic.
done?
Cheers, mate. I'm ecstatic.
Good for you. Well, okay, Anxious from Mount Lawley. I have no idea whether we've helped you or not, but that's the advice from the panel. All right, we'll go on to our last letter, and it's from DL, who emailed our website, and he says, my old schoolmates are not the best at organising social functions. In fact, they're terrible. They seem to plan something with 30 minutes till it starts, e.g. the movies, bowling, going to the footy, etc. They don't seem to know how to plan a couple of days ahead. Now I feel left out somewhat. Do you think that they're terrible at organising, or do you just think they're trying to tell me to go away or something? Oh my goodness. Louise, what's your take?
Take your time, Louise.
I
Just have a
can
good
have
look.
his
Yes,
time, can't I?
yes.
Because he took my... Okay. I'm not taking anything. Yes, you are. I don't see what the problem is. Is there a problem here? There is no problem. They call you 30 minutes out. If they didn't want you to come, they wouldn't actually stop calling after a while. So there's no problem.
No problem.
That's just the way they are.
No problem. And why don't you get out and organise
Yeah, if you're
something?
that
Sitting there
organised,
waiting
you
for
do
someone
it.
to
But
do
I
it.
mean, seriously, there's nothing there. If they didn't like you, they just wouldn't continue to call you 30 minutes out. They just wouldn't call you.
Yeah. Heinz, have you ever been left out by your friends, or don't you have
Oh,
any?
yeah, mate. When I was younger, they couldn't handle me, mate, so they left me at home. But anyway, if you are in your 20s, then I could say it's careless, and, you know, people are flingsy-flangs, and they just like to go out on the spur of the moment. That's a new word, flimsy-flamsy. They go out on the spur of the moment, they might forget to ring you.
Excuse all this jargon.
If you're over 35, they don't want you, mate. Be sure of it. They try to find excuses to get you out of the party. Because they're grown up, they're mature, they don't really want to hurt your feelings. So they, oh God, I forgot the date. Oh God, I forgot to ring. So otherwise, they don't want you. So you bugger off and you're happy. That's it.
All right.
Boom, boom.
So bugger off and be happy. That's
Bugger off,
Heinz's,
be happy.
That's
it.
Heinz's advice. Lena, do you catch up with schoolmates, or do you hate going to the cemetery?
Gary!
Gary.
That's not nice.
No.
Anyway, I like the flimsy-flumsy.
Yes.
I think that's really nice.
I can't get enough of it.
Shush.
Very technical, and Fiona's trying to swat a mosquito in the middle of the panel. Go on.
I disagree with Louise. I think they are trying to sort of not get her to come along at the last minute because they're feeling a bit guilty. They're saying, oh, look, you know, would you like to come to the football? And they would have known before that they were going to the football, and I think they're just being polite, and they are trying to flag you.
All right. And Suresh, you want to wrap up for us?
Yeah, look, I'm with Louise on this one. I think that this is not a problem here. When you look at it, West Australians usually turn up at the cricket about 3 overs into the match. They usually turn up at the football after the first 5 goals have been kicked. So it's not a problem. I think it's fairly common for people to turn up at the last minute. So DL, I reckon, yeah, you might be a nice person, but and I think that you just got to keep trying to organise things yourself now.
I'll come, mate. I don't have any mates. I'll bring Lena. And we'll bring Heinz and leave him there. All right.
Oh, thanks, Cobber.
That's all right, mate. No problems. That's it for our letters tonight. What the job of our panel is to do now is to pick a letter that we're going to give a dinner for 2 to Siennas of either Leaderville or Mount Lawley. Now, the 2 that I reckon are Anxious from Mount Lawley, who's in love with her doctor, and the 10 years...
Bum, buddy, bum, buddy, bum, bum, bum.
Thank you, Heinz. The 10 years difference between the woman and her younger partner. Suresh, which one?
Oh, look, I think Anxious from Mount Lawley's got enough problems to contend with, so dinner would be ideal.
Lena?
I'll go for the pimples.
Pimples?
Yeah, I'm going for the pimples.
Pimples? Heinz?
Well, I like the one, you know, wanted to get it off with the dog, you know.
Oh, here we
The
go.
doctor has it. Heinz' vote carries the day. Thank you very much, panel. It's been a fun show tonight. Good on you, Heinz. Good on you, Louise.
on
Thank you,
you,
Suresh,
Gary.
Lena. And good night, Perth. See you at 8:30, same time, Tuesday and Sunday. Good night. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.